Since I know that most people won't stick through the whole video, I just wanted to put this update here. It is with great sadness that we share that the victim of the shooting did not survive. At a media briefing that just concluded, Sheriff Galler identified the victim as Warren Grant, a 15-year-old student at the high school. Again, we ask you to join us in keeping Warren's family, friends, and the students and staff at JOHS in your thoughts and prayers during this very difficult time. We will have additional support in place for students as we process this tragedy as a school community.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Sadly, we stand here today to discuss another school shooting. I'm very thankful. This came out at 12:36 today. Our Department of Emergency Services Dispatch Center took calls for what was possibly an active shooter incident. Thankfully, that was not the case, but we did have a shooting that took place in the school. One suspect, one victim. At 12:36 again was the initial call. There was the SRO assigned to the school who was in the school who did not hear the shot as the principal. I apologize. The principal of the school also was in the school at the time, did not hear the shot, but heard the commotion that resulted from it. Both the principal and our SRO responded to the scene. Nurses, the shooting took place in a first floor men's bathroom. After the initial shooting, the suspect left the bathroom, left the school. Other individuals in the school brought the victim out into the hallway where he was immediately attended to by nurses as part of the public school system. Within the first 2 minutes, we had our first response deputy on the scene. Within 15 minutes, more than 100 police officers were here from all of our local partner agencies, Bel Air, Aberdeen, Havre Grace, the Maryland State Police, as well as Transportation Authority, and I know I'm going to miss somebody. Baltimore County Police sent units up into the county. ATF is here. I've received calls from other jurisdictions offering their support. The medics from Department of Emergency Services were here in a matter of minutes as well. Immediately attended to the patient who was airlifted to a trauma center. Again, he is the victim in this shooting is a 15-year-old male who is in serious condition. Last we heard, the suspect in the case, thanks to our community members, the suspect in our case was apprehended within minutes. He's a 16-year-old student at the school. This was his first day, although we're the 4 days into the school year. This was his first day in the school, and this altercation apparently took place in the bathroom that resulted in a single shot, what we believe to be a single shot being fired, which struck the victim. He went a short distance away to some houses. They also called the police, called dispatch. Information was given to responding deputies who were able to encounter him very quickly and make an arrest. With our criminal-friendly legislature here in Maryland, this is a 16-year-old suspect that we are now not allowed to talk to. So as far as trying to give some information, our detectives to get information about the questions I have, that all of our partners behind me have, as to why we're not allowed to ask the suspect in this case. We do have, we've talked to the state's attorney, we do have sufficient information that he will be charged in association with this shooting without the need to be interviewed. Overwhelming evidence, if you will. But again, that investigation is ongoing. I'm very thankful again for the quick response of our deputies, of all of our officers and the troopers in the county, all of our allied partners, all the officer assistants, the Department of Emergency Services, the great work at Dispatch Center. I know Rick Ayers is with us, the director of DES, county executive is with us. I can't introduce everybody, but again, a tragic day, 4 days into the school year. We're all familiar with the horrible shooting that took 4 lives in Georgia just a couple of days ago, and here we stand in Harford County with a school shooting. That's about as much investigative information as I'm going to release at this point. It's early on. We have so many of our partners working with us. I'm joined by Dr. Bolson. I can't undersell his staff and what they did. Again, the principal and the nurse attending to this victim right away, hopefully giving him a good chance to survive this event, I pray.
I would just like to give my condolences to the family of the young student. I am so sorry that you guys have to deal with a loss. Pretty much the first week of school, first 4 days, and this is what you have to deal with. Um, my condolences to the friends of the student as well. And like I said, it's a very tough thing to report on things like this continuously, especially when it deals with a loss of life, especially when the loss of life is very young. Just starting, just trying to figure out your way in the world, figure out who you are, figure out where you want to go, who you want to be. And, also thinking about the fact that he was probably looking forward to, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, the normal school holidays where kids are like, hey, we just got in school. I'm ready to get out. The brand new, Call of Duty was about to be out. Grand Theft Auto was coming out next year. So, I'm pretty sure, just guessing, he might have been a game. I'm pretty sure, he was pretty hyped and, looking forward to that and, spending time with family and, birthdays, and all of that stuff. And it's gone. Originally, when I heard the story, they stated that, I want to say that he was in, stable to critical condition. I was hoping that he was going to pull through. I was like, okay, well, they got to him, quick enough. And one of the previous videos that's online, you see the students there trying to, help him out, trying to figure out, what's going on. And I'm like, okay, well, some type of first aid is, present and, people are, I guess talking to him and whatnot. I'm like, okay, he's gonna make it. And then I went through some posts online and I found out, he didn't make it once he was airlifted. And again, my condolences to the family. I am so sorry. I am so, so sorry that you have to go through this. I'm so sorry. Now, for the suspects, I'm not sure why it is that they refused to release the name. They said that, hey, next week when the suspect is charged, since it's the weekend, that's, I guess, when everything is going to come out. I've seen an image of a supposed suspect, but I can't, again, verify if that is the individual or not, because there are images out there of the police taking away somebody, but I don't want to directly jump the gun just in case that might be something from another story or what have you. Again, it's a little bit odd and it's a little bit weird that you would give the name of the victim clear as day, 15-year-old Warren Curtis Grant, but yet you're not going to tell us who the suspect is, who committed this crime. The other thing I want to let people know is that it seems as though that they had maybe a type of familiarity due to the fact that this was a one-off incident that happened in between both students. No other students were involved. They also stated that, there's none of the typical things that we normally hear about these things where people have, it was a manifesto. It was, these things on social media where this person had this plan to do this and this and this. It wasn't any of that. It was a dispute that both of the students, just as the sheriff stated, that both of the students had. One thing led to another, and the older student ended up pulling out a weapon for whatever reason they had it, and they fired. And then they ran from the scene. Again, my condolences to, the Grant family. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this. To the suspect's family, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't, because as I've told people before, this type of stuff is egregious. It should not happen at all. How these kids are getting their hands on weapons is beyond me at this moment in time. This is why I've advocated time and time again for the kids. This is why I've advocated for parents to spend time with their kids, to get to know their kids, to have conversations, to figure out where their kids are, because we're literally living at a moment in time where a lot of parents don't even know who their kids even are. They don't know their, favorite songs, artists, foods, what have you. They just know, okay, birthday, Christmas, dinner, that's it. That's it. Parents don't actually talk to their kids anymore, or the excuse that parents have is that, oh, well, I don't have time because I have to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. No, you do have time, because you can make time for a relationship. You can make time to get engaged, to get married. You can make time for dates. You can make time to go out with friends and coworkers for drinks. You can make time for vacations. You can make time for anything that you specifically want to do as an adult. But the moment in time that something very important comes up, something that is life altering, you don't have time for that. And as I stated before, there's a lot of adults out here that should not have kids. If you don't have the wherewithal, you don't have the patience, you don't have the know-how, however you want to list it, don't have kids. Stop having unprotected relations so that we can at least limit things like this taking place. Because I'm going to state again, too many parents out here don't know their kids, don't care about their kids, are not in their kids' lives. Just because you are giving money to your kids, just because you're providing a roof or some clothing or what have you, that doesn't make you a full-fledged parent. That's just 1% of being a parent. That's stuff that you're supposed to do. Even without those kids, you would be doing that for yourself, correct? So like I said before, you're doing the bare minimum. You're doing what it is that every, other animal or what have you does on this planet. Congratulations for doing the bare minimum, for doing what it is that you're supposed to do. But again, to take it a step further, you're supposed to actually be there, because if more parents were actually there for their kids and in their kids' lives, we would actually have less of this going on. If we would have more families actually coming together, more communities actually coming together, we would actually have less of this, because these kids would actually have somewhere to turn to, somebody to, talk to, right? They wouldn't feel quote unquote alone or whatever the stereotypical thing is, or they wouldn't normally turn to violence such as this. But yet here we are again. Like I said, the main thing, my main go-to every single time is the parents. And I'm not arguing with nobody. Nobody's going to tell me any different. It's going to go right back to the teachings of home. It's going to go right back to how are the parents involved in the students' lives? How are they actually taking care of their kids mentally? Are they helping their kids seek out any type of help for behavioral problems or actions that they may be taking that are negative for not just themselves or the family, but the community as well? Like I said, there's a multitude of routes to take, but a lot of people opt not to do any of them. They allow the problem to fester, and it comes down to this. Something that should have never happened.